Chapter 14. La Paloma. Spade, coming around the corner from the elevator at a few minutes past 6 in the morning, saw yellow light glowing through the frosted glass of his office door. He halted abruptly, set his lips together, looked up and down the corridor, and advanced to the door with swift, quiet strides. He put his hand on the knob and turned it with care that permitted neither rattle nor click. He turned the knob until it would turn no farther. The door was locked. Holding the knob still, he changed hands, taking it now in his left hand. With his right hand, he brought his keys out of his pocket, carefully, so they could not jingle against one another. He separated the office key from the others and, smothering the others together in his palm, inserted the office key in the lock. The insertion was soundless. He balanced himself on the balls of his feet, filled his lungs, clicked the door open, and went in. Effie Perrine sat sleeping with her head on her forearms on her desk. She wore her coat and had one of Spade's overcoats wrapped cape fashion around her. Spade blew his breath out in a muffled laugh, shut the door behind him, and crossed to the inner door. The inner office was empty. He went over to the girl and put a hand on her shoulder. She stirred, raised her head drowsily, and her eyelids fluttered. Suddenly she sat up straight, opening her eyes wide. She saw Spade, smiled, leaned back in her chair, and rubbed her eyes with her fingers. "So you finally got back?" she said. "What time is it?" "Clock. What are you doing here?" She shivered, drew Spade's overcoat closer around her, and yawned. "You told me to stay till you got back or phoned." "Oh, you're the sister of the boy who stood on the burning deck?" "I wasn't going to," she broke off and stood up, letting his coat slide down on the chair behind her. She looked with dark, excited eyes at his temple under the brim of his hat and exclaimed, "Oh, your head. What happened?" His right temple was dark and swollen. "I don't know whether I fell or was slugged. I don't think it amounts to much, but it hurts like hell." He barely touched it with his fingers, flinched, turned his grimace into a grim smile, and explained, "I went visiting, was fed knockout drops, and came to 12 hours later, all spread out on a man's floor." She reached up and removed his hat from his head. "It's terrible," she said. "You'll have to get a doctor. You can't walk around with a head like that. It's not as bad as it looks, except for the headache, and that might be mostly from the drops." He went to the cabinet in the corner of the office and ran cold water on a handkerchief. "Anything turn up after I left?" "Did you find Miss O'Shaughnessy, Sam?" "Not yet." "Anything turn up after I left?" "The district attorney's office phoned. He wants to see you. Himself." "Yes, that's the way I understood it." "And a boy came in with a message that Mr. Gutman would be delighted to talk to you before 5:30. Spade turned off the water, squeezed the handkerchief, and came away from the cabinet holding the handkerchief to his temple. "I got that," he said. "I met the boy downstairs, and talking to Mr. Gutman got me this." "Is that the G who phoned Sam?" "Yes." "And what?" Spade stared through the girl and spoke, as if using speech to arrange his thoughts. "He wants something he thinks I can get. I persuaded him I could keep him from getting it if he didn't make the deal with me before 5:30. Then, sure, it was after I'd told him he'd have to wait a couple of days that he fed me the junk. It's not likely he thought I'd die. He'd know I'd be up and around in 10 or 12 hours. So maybe the answer's that he figured he could get it without my help in that time if I was fixed so I couldn't butt in." He scowled. I hope to Christ he was wrong. His stare became less distant. "You didn't get any word from the O'Shaughnessy?" The girl shook her head no and asked, "Has this got anything to do with her?" "Something. This thing he wants belongs to her? Or to the King of Spain?" "Sweetheart, you've got an uncle who teaches history or something over at the university." "A cousin. Why?" "If we brightened his life with an alleged historical secret 4 centuries old, could we trust him to keep it dark a while?" "Oh yes, he's good people." "Fine. Get your pencil and book." She got them and sat in her chair. Spade ran more cold water on his handkerchief and, holding it to his temple, stood in front of her and dictated the story of the Falcon as he had heard it from Gutman, from Charles V's grant to the Hospitallers up to, but no further than. the enameled bird's arrival in Paris at the time of the Carlist influx. He stumbled over the names of authors and their works that Gutman had mentioned, but managed to achieve some sort of phonetic likeness. The rest of the history he repeated with the accuracy of a trained interviewer. When he had finished, the girl shut her notebook and raised a flushed, smiling face to him. "Oh, isn't this thrilling?" she said. "It's yes, or ridiculous. Now will you take it over and read it to your cousin and ask him what he thinks of it? Has he ever run across anything that might have some connection with it? Is it probable? Is it possible? Even barely possible? Or is it the bunk? If he wants more time to look it up, okay, but get some sort of opinion out of him now. And for God's sake, make him keep it under his hat." "I'll go right now," she said, "and you go see a doctor about that head. We'll have breakfast first." "No, I'll eat over in Berkeley. I can't wait to hear what Ted thinks of this." "Well," Spade said, "don't start boo-hooing if he laughs at you." After a leisurely breakfast at the palace, during which he read both morning papers, Spade went home, shaved, bathed, rubbed ice on his bruised temple, and put on fresh clothes. He went to Bridget O'Shaughnessy's apartment at the Coronet. Nobody was in the apartment. Nothing had been changed in it since his last visit. He went to the Alexandria Hotel. Gutman was not in. None of the other occupants of Gutman's suite was in. Spade learned that these other occupants were the fat man's secretary, Wilmer Cook, and his daughter Rhea, a brown-eyed, fair-haired, smallish girl of 17 whom the hotel staff said was beautiful. Spade was told that the Gutman party had arrived at the hotel from New York 10 days before and had not checked out. Spade went to the Belvedere and found the hotel detective eating in the hotel cafe. "Morning, Sam. Sit down and bite an egg." The hotel detective stared at Spade's temple. "By God, somebody maced you plenty." "Thanks, I've had mine," Spade said as he sat down, and then, referring to his temple, "It looks worse than it is. How's my Cairo's conduct? He went out not more than half an hour behind you yesterday, and I ain't seen him since. He didn't sleep here again last night. He's getting bad habits." "Well, a fellow like that alone in a big city. Who put the slug to you, Sam?" "It wasn't Cairo." Spade looked attentively at the small silver dome covering Luke's toast. "How's chances of giving his room a casing while he's out?" "Can do. You know I'm willing to go all the way with you all the time." Luke pushed his coffee back, put his elbows on the table, and screwed up his eyes at Spade. "But I got a hunch you ain't going all the way with me. What's the honest to God on this guy, Sam? You don't have to kick back on me. You know I'm regular." Spade lifted his eyes from the silver dome. They were clear and candid. "Sure, you are," he said. "I'm not holding out. I gave you it straight. I'm doing a job for him, but he's got some friends that look wrong to me, and I'm a little leery of him. The kid we chased out yesterday was one of his friends." "Yes, Luke, he was. And it was one of them that shoved Miles across." Spade shook his head. "Thursby killed Miles." "And who killed him?" Spade smiled. "That's supposed to be a secret, but confidentially, I did," he said, "according to the police." Luke grunted and stood up saying, "You're a tough one to figure out, Sam. Come on, we'll have that look-see." They stopped at the desk long enough for Luke to fix it, so we'll get a ring if he comes in, and went up to Cairo's room. Cairo's bed was smooth and trim, but paper in the wastebasket, unevenly drawn blinds, and a couple of rumpled towels in the bathroom showed that the chambermaid had not yet been in that morning. Cairo's luggage consisted of a square trunk, a valise, and a Gladstone bag. His bathroom cabinet was stocked with cosmetics, boxes, cans, jars, and bottles of powders, creams, unguents, perfumes, lotions, and tonics. 2 suits and an overcoat hung in the closet over 3 pairs of carefully treed shoes. The valise and smaller bag were unlocked. Luke had the trunk unlocked by the time Spade had finished searching elsewhere. "Blank so far," Spade said as they dug down into the trunk. They found nothing there to interest them. "Any particular thing we're supposed to be looking for?" Luke asked as he locked the trunk again. "No. He's supposed to have come here from Constantinople. I'd like to know if he did. I haven't seen anything that says he didn't." "What's his racket?" Spade shook his head. "That's something else I'd like to know." He crossed the room and bent down over the wastebasket. Well, this is our last shot. He took a newspaper from the basket. His eyes brightened when he saw it was the previous day's call. It was folded with the classified advertising page outside. He opened it, examined that page, and nothing there stopped his eyes. He turned the paper over and looked at the page that had been folded inside, the page that held financial and shipping news, the weather, births, marriages, divorces, and deaths. From the lower left-hand corner, a little more than 2 inches of the bottom of the second column had been torn out. Immediately above the tear was a small caption, "Arrived today," followed by 12:20 a.m., Capac from Astoria. 5:05 a.m., Helen P. Drew from Greenwood. 5:06 a.m., Alvarado from Bandon. The tear passed through the next line, leaving only enough of its letters to make "From Sydney" inferable. Spade put the call down on the desk and looked into the wastebasket again. He found a small piece of wrapping paper, a piece of string, 2 hosiery tags, a haberdasher's sale ticket for half a dozen pairs of socks, and, in the bottom of the basket, a piece of newspaper rolled into a tiny ball. He opened the ball carefully, smoothed it out on the desk, and fitted it into the torn part of the call. The fit at the sides was exact, but between the top of the crumpled fragment and the inferable "From Sydney" half an inch was missing, sufficient space to have held announcement of 6 or 7 boats' arrival. He turned the sheet over and saw that the other side of the missing portion could have held only a meaningless corner of a stockbroker's advertisement. Luke, leaning over his shoulder, asked, "What's this all about? Looks like the gent's interested in a boat." "Well, there's no law against that, or is there?" Luke said while Spade was folding the torn page and the crumpled fragment together and putting them into his coat pocket. "You all through here now?" "Yes. Thanks a lot, Luke. Will you give me a ring as soon as he comes in?" "Sure." Spade went to the business office of the Call, bought a copy of the previous day's issue, opened it to the shipping news page, and compared it with the page taken from Cairo's wastebasket. The missing portion had read, 5:17 a.m., Tahiti from Sydney and Papeete. 6:05 a.m., Admiral Peoples from Astoria. 8:07 a.m., Catapeak from San Pedro. 8:17 a.m., Silverado from San Pedro. 8:05 a.m., La Paloma from Hong Kong. 9:03 a.m., Daisy Gray from Seattle. He read the list slowly, and when he had finished he underscored Hong Kong with a fingernail, cut the list of arrivals from the paper with his pocket knife, put the rest of the paper and Cairo's sheet into the wastebasket, and returned to his office. He sat down at his desk, looked up a number in the telephone book, and used the telephone. "Carney 1401, please." "Where is the Paloma in from Hong Kong yesterday morning, docked?" He repeated the question. "Thanks." He held the receiver hook down with his thumb for a moment, released it, and said, "Davenport 2020, please." "Detective Bureau, please." "Is Sergeant Paulhouse there?" "Thanks." "Hello, Tom. This is Sam Spade." "Yes, I tried to get you yesterday afternoon." "Sure. Suppose you go to lunch with me." "Right." He kept the receiver to his ear while his thumb worked the hook again. "Davenport 0170, please." "Hello, this is Samuel Spade. My secretary got a phone message yesterday that Mr. Bryan wanted to see me. Will you ask him what time's the most convenient for him?" "Yes, Spade, SPAD." A long pause. "Yes. 2:30? All right. Thanks." He called a fifth number and said, "Hello, darling, let me talk to Sid?" "Hello, Sid Sam. I've got a date with the district attorney at 2:30 this afternoon. Will you give me a ring here or there?" "Around 4. Just to see that I'm not in trouble? Hell with your Saturday afternoon golf. Your job's to keep me out of jail." "Right, Sid. Bye." He pushed the telephone away, yawned, stretched, felt his bruised temple, looked at his watch, and rolled and lighted a cigarette. He smoked sleepily until Effie Perrine came in. Effie Perrine came in smiling, bright-eyed, and rosy-faced. "Ted says it could be," she reported, "and he hopes it is. He says he's not a specialist in that field, but the names and dates are all right, and at least none of your authorities or their works are out-and-out fakes. He's all excited over it. That's swell, as long as he doesn't get too enthusiastic to see through it if it's phony." "Oh, he wouldn't, not Ted. He's too good at his stuff for that. Uh-huh. The whole damned Perrine family's wonderful, Spade said, including you and the smudge of soot on your nose. He's not a Perrine, he's a Christie. She bent her head to look at her nose in her vanity case mirror. I must have got that from the fire. She scrubbed the smudge with the corner of a handkerchief. The Perrine Christie enthusiasm ignite Berkeley? He asked. She made a face at him while patting her nose with a powdered pink disc. There was a boat on fire when I came back. They were towing it out from the pier and the smoke blew all over our ferry boat. Spade put his hands on the arms of his chair. Were you near enough to see the name of the boat? He asked. Yes. La Paloma. Why? Spade smiled ruefully. I'm damned if I know why, sister, he said.